The One Show!
So, Cole, what is one thing that sets you up? How would people recognize you if they were walking down the
My
street?
hair.
Your hair. Can you tell us about it?
I used to have long hair.
Uh-huh.
Long strawberry blonde hair, and then I cut it off before I had my stroke. And now it's so colourful.
It's amazing. What colours are in there?
Different colours. And it's washed out.
It's all rainbow, isn't it? You've
Yeah.
got every colour in there. It's amazing. And it's the first thing. Who told you when you went to London that they really liked your hair?
Pink.
Pink. What did she say?
She said, your hair's amazing.
So that I feel like we need to put that on a poster or something. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic, Cole. And what are you, Cole? You're studying at the moment?
Independence. I graduate next year though.
Graduate next year.
Into the big bad world.
So it'll be exciting to see maybe what you end up doing next. Yeah, lots of opportunities.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Modeling. I want to be a model.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you could see. I feel like you'd come across really well on camera as well because you got such an infectious personality.
And natural.
Natural. Yeah, definitely. Oh, how exciting!
Yeah.
And you're very creative. Can you tell us about some of the creative things you like to do?
Play piano and drums.
Yeah. And do you also
And music.
Music?
Piano play.
Wow. And you actually featured on the rap.
Yeah, Canton Bar.
Yeah, the rap song.
We get to play magic.
We get to play with magic, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's your piano at the start, isn't it? You wrote that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I think it really makes the track come alive, doesn't it? Yeah. And what sort of music do you like?
Panic at the Disco.
Panic at the Disco?
High Hopes.
High Hopes.
That was my song. That's my song. My mama played at the hospital.
Wow.
When I was in hospital.
When it was when you were in a hospital.
Yeah, my mama used to play us thing.
Wow. So it holds a really special place
Yeah.
for you.
That's my song because I made it.
Wow, you made it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And for you to come through that and still be so positive.
Yeah, and being magic wheelchair.
Wow. That's amazing, Cole. And if there was anyone maybe wanting to get involved with anything creative or was passionate maybe about finding more out how they can get involved with the hospice, what would you like to?
Ask your parents or carers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you've taken part in last year's workshops, haven't you? And then you also took...
we get spoon magic and back.
Yeah. And you also took part in these workshops this year.
Yeah. And helped.
And what have you enjoyed being involved with the workshops?
Being more sociable. Sociable being Sean.
Yeah.
And Sean's dad.
Meaning Sean and Sean's dad. They're great, aren't they?
Yeah.
And do you feel like you've learned any new skills? Or
No, I just feel more sociable now.
Yeah, more sociable now?
Yeah.
And enjoyed it?
Yeah.
And what did you think about Karen Dunbar?
Amazing.
Yeah? What did you like about it?
We got some good.
Yeah, you got on good, didn't you?
Yeah.
How did you have good banter with one another, don't you? You're able to take the mick out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and encourage each other as well. I think you're both really encouraging. Yeah. Amazing, Cole. Well, Cole, we think you're absolutely amazing.
I think I saw my family.
Oh, thank you for sharing, Cole. We really appreciate and just love hearing all about the amazing things you're involved with, and can't watch this space, huh?
Yeah.
Watch this space. We'll see what the future holds. When you're a famous model, will you remember us? Yeah? Give us a shout out.
Yeah, well,
Thank you. Amazing.
I can never forget a hospital.
Oh.
Getting great times. Coming here after all these years.
Yeah, it's a big part of
Yes, big part of my
So we're just going to introduce another one of the young adults in the podcast team, and that person is Sean, who's sitting across from me right now. And Sean, we've just got a couple of wee questions about you because you're super creative and you've got lots and lots of talent. You're so busy, and we're going to ask you about some of the things that you get up to here at the hospice. So the first thing, Sean, is can you just tell us a wee bit about what you get up to creatively?
Well, at the moment I'm doing quite a variety of different things, from painting to poetry to animation, and try to use the combination of all and put them together.
Brilliant. So you're bringing together your painting and your...
Yeah, my different creative aspects.
How did you first get into painting?
Well, I've always been quite artistic since I was younger. Now I've got less of an ability to use my hands, so now I've got to use my mouth for painting instead.
And what sort of like technique would you use for that? And how does it reflect what your paintings look like? Just to give the listeners an idea of kind of what your paintings look like.
Well, I use my mouth using special sort of adapted holders for the paint brushes, so that I can slot them in and use them steadily, or be able to move them about, or other types of things like that. One of my first paintings was like a sea, impressions of the sea, which was a kind of bluey, greeny, kind of wavy pattern, quite basic but really interesting.
And you probably touched on this a little bit there, but is there anything in particular that sort of inspires your artworks?
Well, most of my artworks, it's mainly nature that inspires it, from landscapes to animals or birds or things like that.
And you're so beautiful with colour as well, Sean.
Yeah.
You've got such a good. Do you choose the colours yourself? Or?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, mix them up.
That's good then.
Well, I get assistants to mix them up with.
Yeah.
Kirsty and
Like a proper artist does.
Yeah.
You've got an assistant.
Get the assistants in.
Clean your brushes.
And when you have a blank
Yeah.
sheet of paper, do you know what you're going to do? Are you quite responsive? How do you?
Well, most of the time I know what I'm going to do before I do what I'm actually going to paint.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, but
Do you have any influences for the view?
Like a picture in front of you?
Yeah.
well, I did. Recently for the picture I did with the bird, I cut him a picture near me so that
Yeah.
for
Oh,
reference.
yeah.
Still working on that. He hasn't
Yeah.
put a beak on and shit.
Amazing.
Do you know what bird that is?
I was going to ask, what bird is that?
No.
Yeah, bullfinch it is.
Come on.
Amazing.
Like in the video.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have a blank sheet of paper, you kind of know what you're going to do, but then is it also reactive to how you...
Yeah, also it depends what happens when I start.
Yeah.
And that affects how it's or it moves it, well, because still occasionally I have to adjust what angle the board's at and all these different things to actually paint certain things.
You must have a really strong jaw
Yeah.
to hold the brush.
Yeah, and good
Yeah.
concentration.
Well, it's like, with the holders, it's actually easier
And
now.
good
Actually,
concentration.
really, they
I never used to have
What's made up?
holders, you see, I used to have to just...
And good concentration.
Did you get them made especially for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Right.
And good concentration.
Yeah, it's kind of ones where I could hold like,
Yeah.
my teeth or my, mouth,
Yeah,
So they're
But
quite
also-
comfortable.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
That's
So
good.
what's a holder, sorry Sean, what's...
it's sort of, there's a Y-shaped bit that goes into my mouth, and then it's like a wee kind of metal bit, that comes out with a wee sort of tightening bit at the end of it.
Is it like a gum shield type thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it could
That's
use like
nice.
that, except it's,
Yeah, like a gum
it
shield.
doesn't have the
then.
actual shield bit, but it's got the,
And then you just bite into the
Yeah.
bit
well, just
inside.
kind of hold it, like,
Yeah.
That's the best then.
Mm.
which allows me to steady it more than I used to be able to.
Yeah.
I used to have to just put
That's cool.
They used
with
to
a
just,
bit of rubber glove at the end of it.
oh, just
So-
to hold it, aye.
Put the tape it on there, and then
That's
because
amazing.
the brush would kind of move about a lot
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You know, I try to hold the brush a lot of the time, but it can move about quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's a heavy brush, it was like,
Yeah, and that's when you were,
it's like weighing me down. Like,
and you didn't break your teeth.
But
Yeah,
also,
for
there's
goodness
something
sake.
beautiful in them, like maybe accidents that happen with like unusual drips or like movement
Yeah,
that you didn't
paintings,
expect. I think it adds to the beauty of your work as
Yeah,
well.
like that.
And
Yeah.
definitely better to have more control.
I like express fart.
yeah, when anything like that happens, I just stick with it. Even if it drips in a place
Yeah.
I don't.
I like express fart.
Express it back.
Express-
Yeah, go mad.
Just go mad.
Yeah.
all the colours. And Shauna, I was going to ask as well, what sort of paint do you use?
Well, the acrylic inks is what they are.
Acrylic inks.
But depending on what I'm looking for, I sometimes water it down more or
I like acrylic.
can't leave it the way it is, you know. It's to get a different shade of colour, I actually sometimes put more water in it.
I like acrylics too.
But it also makes it
They dry faster.
it's a bit makes it a bit more colours but not quite. It's
I was going to say it's very unusual and the colours are very
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah.
That you get a real depth, but also like you said, adding that water makes it subtle as
Yeah,
well, gives it that
amazing.
watercolour feel.
yeah, if you
Amazing.
change some colours that much that bad water that you would think it was the same colour that started
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
But interesting, like doing that and then you're painting water scenes, like that's like quite an interesting concept, like adding the water to the paint and almost like bringing it alive with that colour.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Shauna.
And how does it make you feel when you're painting?
I feel quite relaxed painting and it also allows me to escape from thinking about things for a while, you know, and think about something else that's making me happier or, you know, I think it's just keep my mind off things.
And everyone here has also seen some of your work and it's absolutely stunning. Has your work been on exhibition anywhere? Has people been able to see your work or is there somewhere they can see it just now?
Well, look, I did have an exhibition of 3 of the seascape paintings a few years ago. And a couple of my paintings are up in the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice.
And so people who are visiting Hospice can see some of your work on display
Yeah,
and that's there permanently.
yeah, it's there permanently at the moment.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you want to talk a wee bit about your animation and how you evolved into that?
Well, years ago when I was at college, I studied film craft and animation, and quite a long time ago. But it was that got me how to do animation, you know. And also that recently I've started using it again in a different way. I used some of my poetry as inspiration for the visuals of the animation. It's a nature animation, going through different parts of the world and things like that.
And Sean, you've been a really important part as well of the group here at the Loving Well Hub where we've been doing lots of creative workshops. Is there anything in that you've particularly enjoyed?
Well, there's been quite a few things from being involved in the rap and also doing the photography and learning different types of things like that.
And what about the group of other young adults you've been working with? Have you enjoyed that aspect of it?
Yeah, it's enjoyable working with other people. It also allows you to interact with different people and see how they are doing things like that.
Could I ask also about how you do, like just practically how you make your animation, like what program you use or how do you do it?
Well, it's really just using a drawing program, doing it each frame by frame, really.
So you draw it, you physically draw it?
I draw it on a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're beautiful, they're such beautiful animations with so much detail. So doing it for like frame by frame must take so long. How long does it take you to make an animation?
Well, it varies. It depends how long it really is, or how many images I have to produce.
For 1 minute or so, how long would you say that took you?
Well, I was doing it over Zoom during COVID, so a lot of it might have took quite a few months, I think.
Wow. I think it's important for people to realise how much work goes into these incredible. Yeah.
One of the things I really remember, Sean, from your animation was the like soundscape, the soundtrack of it. Is that something that you produced yourself as well?
Yeah, it was. I hadn't really done a lot of producing my own sound, but with the more recent ones I did, and it was a different, interesting aspect that I hadn't really done so much myself before.
And how did you do that? How did you record those sounds?
I used different types of microphones and different objects and things, that were quite close to the sounds that I needed.
Oh, good you judge.
Well, I've always been interested in art. Ever since I was younger, and I could draw by hand or paint by hand.
Thank you so much, Sean. You're an absolute inspiration to us. I know that because you're so creative and you're just always so busy as well, and always
Super Sean.
coming up with new ideas, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing all that with us, and also all the sort of practical elements to your work as well.
Yep, but thanks.
Well done, Sean.
Hard enough.
All right.
Good.